might call Brooke Shields a teen angel, or Venus in blue jeans, or just a beautiful baby. Brooke has established herself as an actress and sex symbol at an age when most girls are still just girls. And she has taken some dramatic risks, sanctioned by her mother, Terri, on the road to stardom. They're upstairs tonight, talking about all of it. So stay with us, upstairs at the Xenon.
Because I don't find rhythm in it.
No.
I like music with tremendous rhythm.
I find it a bit hard to find the rhythm. I don't hear the music yet. Yeah. Slowly. I think I'm more old-fashioned.
Well, yeah.
You're more old-fashioned than your mother?
Country music, yeah.
I like the way the people dress.
Oh, it's great.
And I think it's the whole, you know, the whole new thing. Because there's a lot of beautiful, actually, sounds outside of what I think, when you say there's no beat to it.
But there is really.
I mean, in fact, there's Blondie herself. I mean, she's pretty.
She's a beautiful woman.
So
new wave. I mean, she's, I think, one of the first people that did come out with songs that were
I love it. There is a difference between the new wave and the punk, whereas I prefer the new wave to the punk. The punk is not.
It's not even new wave anymore. Now it's DOR. If you say new wave, you're behind the times.
DOR is.
What's DOR?
I think it's like dance-orientated rhythms.
Sounds like something
that's what
Billboard.
So, like, if you're really hip, you say DOR. You don't say new wave.
Wow, it used to be out of the times to say punk. Now I guess punk's really far behind.
Where it is. But a lot of those things just really don't last for very long.
No, they don't.
It's a phase usually.
Terri, how much involved in directing Brooke's career are you? Are you the agent and the manager?
Yes, yes. I'm not less and less becoming involved. It's that it's easier now because Brooke is growing up and she has more of an opinion, and it really makes it easier on me.
So you can get Brooke's reaction
yes,
to
right.
potential
When before it was a little bit harder because her aunt, who I worked very close with, we would decide most of the things for Brooke.
Aunt Lila.
Auntie
Very
Lila.
smart. Very smart woman.
Yes.
What do you? I really would like. You never told me the actual thing that led up to Brooke doing her first commercial when she was a little tiny child. What, 2 or 3 years old?
Oh well, actually. She never did commercials until Brooke thought she was 2 or 3. She first modeled for Ivory Soap when she was 11 months old. But it wasn't until she was around, I'd say 5 or so, where she had gotten her first commercial.
Did that have to do when she was 11 months old with literally the way she looked as a baby?
Yes, exactly. And she was well behaved. Believe it or not. Well, actually,
what is this up the sleeve? Well behaved, believe it or not.
Yeah, remember? She had to, they wanted a child under a year old to know how to kiss. And it was just a coincidence that Brooke did know how to kiss. So that when she kissed her mother, right, that she would have to hand her mother the bar soap and kiss her mother.
Oh.
And, I mean, they had gone through so many kids.
Cute.
Well, the picture came out, it was ridiculous because of all the time and money spent. It was, I mean, I knew it was Brooke because, of course, it's my baby. But the Ivory Soap was there, it was beautiful, and the mother's face was gorgeous. But there was just a fat cheek and a shoulder of Brooke. And Scavullo had taken it.
Gee, even then she worked with the best photographers.
Started off.
Has Brooke's success been difficult for you, again, in that area of when people will project onto you things that have nothing to do with your motives and your reality? I remember and hearing conversations, not recently, but a few years ago when the Pretty Baby film first came out, where Brooke was playing the child in the house of prostitution, right, at the turn of the century, that you were a stage mother, that you were living your life through Brooke, that you were exploiting her, you know the old ugly stuff.
Exactly.
How much did it hurt?
I don't think it hurt at all.
It didn't hurt you?
Not at all, no. I don't think it's hurt either of us. Fortunately, see, Brooke was sort of just introduced to the world at that time.
But prior to that,
prior to that, she'd been working 10 years. And we were familiar with, I mean, on a smaller scale, of other people not being so appreciative of Brooke. being jealous, in essence.
Isn't that at the root of a lot of it? I mean, when you feel
Well, I
the
think
negative
mainly,
stuff
yes,
coming in.
yes. And as Brooke mentioned a while back, too, that the bad mail that she gets, we screen, Lyle and I screen all the mail, that the bad mail she gets, I especially want to attend to that, because I know that the people who are writing, the kids, either they want attention, they figure there's, without even knowing it themselves, there's a way of getting Brooke's attention.
You're upset.
And I immediately get in touch with them, and invariably they're just so, you know, they're turned around totally. In fact, I was on a talk show with Brooke, and there were 1,800 women putting us down, really.
Sounds like they filmed Dollinger's show. One other show.
Got it.
There were 1,800 women, but not all of them were putting us down. But there were a few women who, in the audience, openly put me down in particular, and after the show, couldn't wait to get to me to find out what to do with their daughter. You know, how do I go about it?
I asked my mom for her autograph and everything.
What do you think? Did that make you angry, though, when you find that someone's projecting something on your mother which has nothing to do with the way she's been a mom, and it's just their, you know, their bad thinking?
You think about it for a minute that you might be angry, but I have to think above it.
Evaluate their mentality.
What are they really going through? They must be upset. And, you know, my mom said, evaluate their mentality. Think about where they are, you know, and just be above it. Know that they must know somewhere that what they're saying. Do you,
Sheila, Terry, excuse me, do you think that, I don't know why I called you Sheila. Did anyone ever call you Sheila before?
It came out
do you think that people really wanted to think that that Brooke was not having a childhood?
Oh, of course. It would have been much easier. For instance, I've always brought this, and I have nothing against a dental assistant, but I always use that because it was the first thing that came to my mind when I will say, you know, it's interesting, if I were bringing Brooke up by myself, say, I want to do the best for her, and I think all parents want to do the best for their children, and they do what they feel is the best. And Brooke, being as pretty as she is, that seemed to work for us, and she was happy doing with what she was doing, and I promoted it. If I wanted Brooke to be a dental assistant, and I promoted that, no one would say a word.
Or a doctor, or a dentist, or anything, sure.
Right, or anything.
It's the showbiz aspect of it.
Yes.
And there's just as much, I don't feel my mom's pushing me, but there's a push to make your kid become a doctor or anything.
Yeah. And you want to inspire your children.
Terri, I'm very curious. You know, I have a daughter myself, and I raised her until recently all alone, and I can understand all the problems.
She's 14.
She's 14, and I wanted to know what got you to the first step of having Brooke model at 11 months.
Well, she was a very beautiful baby. I mean, and I think that is really the answer, but it's not a general answer, because there were no babies as beautiful as Brooke.
What made you decide? You know, were you alone? Were you divorced at that point?
Yes. I had gotten a phone call from Scavula saying that they had 17 screaming babies there, and
they needed one who could kiss.
They needed one who could kiss.
And then from then on, what made you pursue it, and how?
Well, then what you do is you hopefully you go to an agency, a reputable agency, and they either turn you down or they don't. And there's a lot of legwork involved.
So did you just like that? It's a good question.
I
just thought it was good for me. It was fun.
Well, yes, because fortunately Brooke was at an age, naturally, she couldn't talk back. She couldn't say, I don't want to do it.
From one time.
Now you should hear me.
What do you talk back about now, Brooke?
What I'm going to wear that day.
Oh, so it's not the heavyweight philosophical stuff.
No, she's very easy.
Terri, how do you explain Brooke's uncanny ability to project herself as being older? Not just the way she looks, but also the way her ideas, the things she thinks about, her values, the way she deals with people, her maturity. The thing that impressed me from the first day that I met you two, when Brooke was
10.
And very, very cute. And like just a miniature of yourself. No, more, now you're beautiful then. No, you were beautiful then, but it's just you're a miniature version of the same thing.
I'm Jane.
It's wonderful.
Get taller.
You know what I'm saying? Why is she able to do that? That's what makes Brooke Shields Brooke Shields, the fact that she looks older, she seems older. She, at age 10, was like a little woman.
You know what I really believe? I think when we're born, our characteristics are there. And whether we know it or not, they have to be developed. I think basically Brooke is a very serious-minded person.
No, I think that comes through.
And I think that's where, in her seriousness, very often appears that she's more mature than she is, when she's not really, especially at the age of 10. I think she was serious then, as she was when she was 6 perhaps, but we didn't know it because at 6 you don't think of a child being serious, or pretty much not.
Do you talk about everything as mother and daughter?
All the time.
Everything, yes.
That's really a key to the success of your relationship, I think. I mean, particularly when you've gone through the Brooks being in the position of doing the intimate scenes, the sexy scenes in films. A lot of people are embarrassed even to have a conversation with their own mother or father about something like this. So here you're a mother and daughter who are able to be so open about it that it goes on the screen, and yet that openness is never celebrated. The thing that is criticized is, in fact, that you were exploiting Brooke, that she's too young. So how do you deal with the whole range of thinking that Brooke Shields is the first of a whole bunch of baby models who are selling things through their sexuality and they're only 10, 12, 11 years old? How do you defend that?
Well, first of all, I really don't feel I should defend it.
Well, if someone attacks you or criticizes you, that's what I mean.
Because I hope to continue on with Brooke, and she feels willing also. I just think it has to be channeled in the right way. I think the exploitations, so to speak, that we all have read and heard about or talk about, I think people get off on a young girl looking more mature in commercials for one particular reason. And I think that reason is that not only can they see total innocence, which is definitely there, and 2, they have the sexy child too. They have the sexy person that appeals to them.
Sure, and it's a forbidden fruit.
Yes, and yet it's all wrapped up in one. And that is really appetizing.
Well, listen, if I say, and this has happened to me, and I say, you know, I really like Brooke Shields. I'm like, you know I like you, and we're friends, and I like you, and it's wonderful. And somebody will say, you can get arrested for that. And I hate that. And I say, what are you talking about?
It's what they're
I'm a friend,
thinking of,
you know?
right.
It's what they're thinking of, and that's what I keep coming back. It's like in the film, Peter Sellers' film Being There, where Chance is a simple-minded gardener, and it's the thinking of other people that's projected on him that gives him the characteristics that they like. In this case, it's either that they like or they don't like.
Everybody's always reading into something.
You know, as bad as a lot of people want to make us out to be, I think we're doing a great thing for the teenagers out there, especially. Brooke showing an example as to what she's really like through people like you both, having her on the show, through the fan mail, which is, to me, one of the most important factors in her career. Getting through to the people that way. Getting letters from hundreds and hundreds of people saying that for 6 years they've been writing celebrities and never gotten as much as a postcard. And Brooke right now, being the age she is it's probably going to be a little bit more tough for her now, because she is setting an example for the teenagers out there who want to fashion themselves after her. And I think she's going to do an excellent job. And
I've got a good chance to
by being 15.